Hi everybody and welcome back to the second section of this course, CRUD operations in Mongo. In this section we will take a look at the basic and most fundamentals operations that we can do in MongoDB. Let's start with the first video, which is about the company schema design. So we talked a lot in the last section, and in this one I want to dive into coding, so let's just open our code editor inside the project folder. And right here, the first thing that we want to do is to create a new file inside the models folder. This new file will be called company. So we will be creating a schema with Mongoose, and the first thing that we need to do is of course importing Mongoose. Okay, this sounds good. Now the next thing is to declare the schema, which is basically just a function inside the Mongoose library. Now, what is a schema? A schema will be basically the blueprint for each one of the documents in a collection. So this means inside the schema we will specify the attributes, the data fields that each document inside a collection will have. So let me show how with code, and I hope you understand it better. So the first thing to do is declare the company schema. So the company schema will be a new schema, and inside of that we will give the definition of the schema. Or it's just an object where we will specify all the fields that our documents will have inside the company's collection. So the one and only attribute for now that we want to have for each company is its name. Now we have to specify what type of attribute is the field name. And to do that, we will pass an object and we will specify type as string. Also, we will specify another option which is required true. We will talk more about the required true in the next sections, but for now let's just understand that required true means that each document inside our company's collection will have a name, and it's mandatory, it's required to have a name. Now the last thing to do is export our schema. Okay, so this is all for now about this file. Now, being that we finished this super quick, I want you to dive into another concept, which is that Mongoose creates our collections automatically for us where we need them. So if we start writing queries about inserting a new company inside our database, automatically Mongoose will create a collection called companies. So it will just make the plural of the name that we inserted right here. Because of course, a company is the name of each one of our documents, and a collection of documents will be companies, so the plural of that. So now that we understand that, we will create a new file in our tests, and it will be called company. This file will be used to test our companies, our company model, and all the queries related to the company. So the first things that we want to do is to import real quick Mongoose and the company model. Company model, of course, is one directory up, and then models, and then company. Now, another thing that I'd like to do is create a describe block. So we saw in the previous videos that we have the test function that makes possible for us to execute tests. But to group tests together, we have the describe function, where we pass the name of this block and a function. And basically here, we can insert tests. And actually, I am going to insert this one just to try it out. Okay. I'm going to delete the first .js file because we don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna test that everything is working correctly inside my terminal. Now, as you can see, the company tests, which is our describe block, groups all the tests that we have inside. So we can see the indentation here. And everything appears to be working correctly. I'm gonna just exit with Ctrl+C. And this is pretty much all for this video. We will come back on the next one in just a second,